my life, I think it's dedicated to music, to learning more music, and I think that what I do, the projects that I do, a lot of times are about like love letters to different styles, different music. And I think that when I feel like I found something, I'm always like, okay, what's next? And I try to, always stay in that area where I'm not comfortable, if that makes sense. In that area where it's like, okay, here I feel like there's something going on. When there's, in that point where there's some tension, es lo que hace que you find something, you know? So I think that I always try to be there in order to keep moving forward. I feel like music from other places keeps me thinking, it keeps me reflecting, it keeps me inspired. So that's why I always try to like, okay, how can I make this work with this? And then you always get something different. Also, that's why I think I try to be open to all the styles, because I think that as humans we try to like find new ways of making things, or we make music in different ways, right? How amazing it is to stay open to whatever music, however music is gonna shape, however music is gonna happen, because there's infinity of ways it could happen. The same way that there's infinity ways of being a human being, right? I don't know, like I feel like everything is connected, and when you are aligned and connected with that everything is talking to everything. It almost feels like when creating is a conversation. That's why I think in itself, but also it's so hard to create by yourself. You need people, I think, around, so you can't keep with a conversation, even just by myself. With David, first of all, the engineer that I work with always, I'm so grateful that I can talk to him. Just talk to him, you know, because I could get so crazy just on the process of choosing something, and you get caught up in your own mind. But when you are in conversation, things get easier. And there's people that they say that art is a dialogue between artists, and I really believe in that. Being surrounded by people that feels free and that is free. For example, my sister, I feel like is a person that like that too. A lot of my friends are like that, and that's always beautiful and inspiring. I don't know, my main goal in life is just to be as free as possible. So I think that music is a reflection of who you are. So if you're free, then the music is free. And so I was like, yeah, let me try to just have fun when I do this. At this point, I want to have fun. You know? So I'm like, if I'm in Italy and I want to visit this museum, I'll go. And if I have to do whatever, if I want to ride a bike and I'm in Berlin, I'll do it. And if I want to do this and that, I'll do it. Because at the end of the day, you spend maybe 2 years touring or things like that. And that's so much time. And I don't want to feel like, I don't know, that I'm not living my life. The thing that I would like the most is to be the as free as possible. I think that this man said it really good. Let me see if I pronounce it right. Man Ray. Right. I don't know if I want to say it right, but something like that. He said something like, creation is divine and reproduction is human. Every original is created like from divinity, divinidad, right? But every reproduction from the original is like a human thing to do, you know? And so I think that when I make music, I think a lot about God, and I think that I put myself in service of God. I like to think that I'm in service in the studio. I'm in service. I put myself in service of whatever the energy has to be on stage. I always say that to myself every time before I go to the stage. I'm always like, I'm gonna be a channel. I'm a channel. I'm gonna be the most open as I can, so this energy flows through me. So I put myself in service. When I'm on stage, I feel like nothing can stop me. I feel the strongest in that moment. That's the moment that I feel the strongest. And I hope I can be a free spirit. So I hope that people, when they watch it, they feel like a free spirit. And I think that God's the best artist. Is the best, ¿cómo se dice? Where I learn the most. And as humans, we probably have done this forever, right? We've been like, ¿cómo se dice? Un tambor. The sea is the best drum, el tambor original, or the heartbeat, or our voice, which is a gift. And that's the beginning of everything. These people from Nueva Guinea, if I'm not wrong, they say that the best music is the one that comes from the trees, the birds. So they listen to the birds, and that's music for them. And I think that we are always constantly, God is so present, and we can always make music if we just look around or listen, a little bit. You don't need too much, you know what I mean? You just sit and listen. That's how I feel it. Every time I went to the studio, every time I started a project, it always was from a place of, I'm gonna make decisions and I'm gonna commit to them. It's like all the time, I feel like I make music trying to challenge myself as a musician, trying to challenge who's gonna listen to it. So that requires faith and patience, and that's something that you never know what's gonna happen, no? You never know what the result is gonna be. But I really almost made a promise with myself of, I know that that's how I started making music. I know that this is my idiosyncrasia as a musician, idiosyncrasy.
To just not be afraid to try. And it's probably not gonna sound how you want it to sound in the beginning, so it will take time. And I think that patience and being humble is very important values, at least for me, that it worked really well for my work ethic in the studio.
So I try to focus more on the positive and on the love, if that makes sense. I love when people create from a place of no judging if there's something better or worse. So I think that also as an artist, sometimes the thing is relieving to think, okay, I'm whatever you need me to be in this moment. I'm this mirror where you're gonna see what you need to see. I'm gonna be this sound that you're gonna hear what you need to hear. When people don't understand my lyrics, sometimes they say, oh, her diction is not really good, blah, 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 and they don't understand the lyrics. Sometimes I even think, oh, maybe that's not bad. Maybe that's not bad, because then it's so, it's ambiguous, ambiguidad, that makes people hear what they need to hear. I think if you have the blessing of seeing with clarity, I think that's a responsibility. So it makes sense that you use it and you live como con esa, como honrando esa responsabilidad, honoring that responsibility. Knowledge, sometimes it may not allow you to be so creative. Like maybe it makes your creativity be less expansive. But I think it's the opposite. I think it's lo opuesto. I think the more knowledge you have, the more freedom you're gonna have, I think.
Oh.